dog, they think me, Drake, and Adin are running a racketeering scam because anytime Drake says something, everywhere. I say something, everywhere. When I talked to Anthony Salah, you know what he said to me? He said, yo, we got private investigators like on Grand right now. And I'm like, huh? But so that happened then. Months later, more private investigators went to go try to, whatever with Grand. And then they went to, I won't call this person's name out, but they went to his house too. And I was like, why are they going to people who have worked for me? You know who the people who have worked for me? I don't know if y'all know who Grand really is. There's somebody, I don't know exactly who. I think it's either Rock Nation or the Kendrick people. They've spent hundreds of thousands of dollars, not even stalking me. It's stalking the kids and the unknown people.
DJ Akademiks exposes the truth. Check out what he had to say, and then I'll come back with my comments.
What I did want to get to, first and foremost, I couldn't wait to get on. And I never, let me tell you where some of this disdain is coming towards people like me, right? And I want to tell you this kooky theory, and I want to tell you this theory now before I explain everything for the next hour. And everybody knows I think I'm the most transparent person in media. I think most transparent person in rap, period. But okay, we'll just start with media. But let me make this point, and then you're going to say to yourself, what the f are you talking about, Act? Nobody thinks this. And I'm here to tell you that's actually not true. There's a lot of people who think it. And actually, they've spent hundreds of thousands, if not maybe $1 million, trying to prove this. And the only reason why I even address it, I'll address it now just like publicly, is because I've always addressed it. And I got like, a couple of interesting calls yesterday. They were like, oh, they got the files. And I was like, what files? And they told me some shit, which I was like, are y'all serious? So let me tell you the theory, then I'll play you some clips. There is a theory that because Akademiks, this is what I'm hearing. They said Akademiks, Drake, and Adin Ross are botting or gaming the algorithm for music, for media, and I'm going to tell you why it comes from. They say they can't scroll on their Twitter feed without seeing us. They feel it's not natural. They're like, how does Akademiks has that many people supporting him? By the way, some of this is coming from my media compadres. They're basically used to be gatekeepers, or they rely on a platform, or they rely on whatever entity to give them visibility. They can't understand how Akademiks is consistently talked about. They thought they got rid of him. They're like, he's banned on Twitch. We got him. All right. He's off of Complex. No more Everyday Struggle. No more Spotify deal. They've only talked about me more, right?
Yeah, the game has changed. It ain't about going to a major outlet. That's the only way that you're going to get your voice heard. As long as you got these individual platforms, the Kicks, the Twitch, the YouTubes, Twitter, you name it, there's a social media platform where people can get their voice out. And now that you got people reposting clips, that's only going to help magnify the reach of these individuals. So it's just a different day and age. The gatekeepers, they can't contain the information. They can't run the narratives anymore. Everybody can get their voice heard no matter what.
So they have me involved in it. Then they said Drake can't be this popular, which is so interesting. Because I felt like people, they're either in denial or not realizing that Drake's numbers organically have never compared to rappers. It's only ever compared to Taylor Swift and Bad Bunny, which are not rap stars or rap acts. So how could you think he doesn't have that fan base? But they're very, I think there's a little bit of upset there too. They're confused why Drake, who doesn't do what everybody else does, he doesn't deal with 99% of rap media. He doesn't do what everybody does. He feels like, I'm not going to lie, like Drake is like, he f***s with a few streamers. That's it. So
that was a great way for Drake to kind of leverage content, leverage the promotion. Yeah, of course, he's cool with these guys, the Bender Dons, Adin Ross, everybody in streaming, especially the new up-and-coming streamers, Drake has friendships with. And then what's going to happen when his album drops? When he wants to have an album rollout, everybody gets the album, or everybody stream my album. Don't worry about it. You won't get copyrighted. Everything will be okay with your YouTube channels or whatever channels that you're streaming this on. Support my project. I'll support you. Content creators, everybody, Drake is aligned with and is helping them out. That's why you're starting to see Drake everywhere. That's why Drake defeated the music industry.
But it's like, how is he that popular? He's not the culture anymore. The culture, they say all that. And then, I don't know how Adin Ross kind of gets into this, but Adin Ross is supposedly in this, where they're like, nah, Adin Ross is like a paid type of guy. And I know, it sounds bananas, okay? And I keep telling you, every time I hear these things, I always got to sit back to be like, wait, do they really think I'm that powerful? I mean, I do think I am popular, right? But they're making up conspiracy theories. Like literal conspiracy theories. Now we're going to get to it in a second. But let me play this. And I thought it was hilarious, but I expect nothing different from these particular guys who, I'm going to be honest with y'all, if I were y'all, I would hate me too. And why I say that is that the landscape of media shifted so much. Pause. I've sucked the air out the room. No one cares generally about what you guys are talking about. There's no conversation that really is stemmed from anything you guys are talking about anymore. Half because it's bullshit. The second half is because you guys ain't really talking about shit. And why do I say that, or what do I mean? Because these are the people kind of fueling these conspiracy theories. But I want to put the conspiracy theory out there. And I'm going to clear it up. But this shit sounds so dope. I kind of hoped it was true. Like, I heard some theories about me, Drake, and Adin. I'm like, I hope this was true. Fortunately, it's not, but I wish it was true. So we'll address it. But so while I was breaking down Iceman, doing my thing, you know what I mean? I started talking about some of the failed media personalities out there. Their shows have been canceled. They're irrelevant. They're halfway broke or they're on the unemployment line. And we've probably trolled them by offering them a fake job just to see if they would send in their resume and their LinkedIn profile just to laugh. Where's she at? Where's the job at? Because we're not hiring you. Yeah, we've been having a good time. I'm sorry. Yeah, I had a great time for a while, but let us have a good time. So, I get it. I wouldn't play victim. I seen this guy, and I don't even remember. I think I probably did oh, no. I tweeted at him. So let me be very clear. So I'll start this part off by saying, ladies and gentlemen, when I say woke, I'm talking about this. You need to align really well with the rest of the quote unquote black voice to be accepted. Like, I'm gonna try to do.
Yeah, that's really what woke is now. It's pretty much aligning. Everybody joins the bandwagon on this particular topic. Doesn't have to be a black thing. Doesn't have to be a white thing. It's just more of a thing that everybody's aligned on. So right now you're going to see a lot of woke people. They're going to be talking about Drake. How's he in the algorithm? What's going on? Something has to be going on. When, again, he just aligned himself with the right people, with the right content creators.
The reason why I always said this Kendrick era killed hip-hop is because when hip-hop was always thriving, we always knew it was multifaceted. You had the picket fence, or we're carrying the signs, we gonna be all right type, like Kendrick, and we always accepted, and we knew that there's a place for that. You got the drug dealers and the mushmouth reach, like Lil Baby. You had the eclectic but still street dudes like Young Thug. You had the straight up drill rappers like Chief Keef and Lil Durk. You had the emo rappers, they were like Uzi and like Trippie Redd. You had the lyricists that just couldn't make a hit. I could go on and on, but I'm talking about how diverse hip hop was. You know what never happened in hip hop? There was never, before that, this whole dot era, there was never a time that people felt like they had to use their moral superiority to tell people what should be done and what should not be done. For example, no one would go to a drill rapper and say, hey, why are you saying you're smoking on his hands? That's not cool. We shouldn't encourage violence. How about you clean it up? We know this is rap music. There's shared understanding. There's multi-varied approaches and also different type of people, right? If you want these conscious people, you could go get them. If you want to ignorant, you could go get them. It always existed. What happened after this Kendrick era started, and fans now started looking at everything like, oh, he has a case, and they started looking at these these things like we were now judging people on soapboxes. Hip hop has always been for the imperfect. We love the people that got 15 felonies. We love the people who caught a body but beat it. We love the people who, like, again, their rap sheet has never been perfect. So once hip hop turned into a place where now they're breaking down if you're a good person or not, that would never last because hip hop always embraced imperfection. That's when and really that started from them trying to demonize Drake, saying he's a PDF, which was completely false. But then that turned into we're judging everyone. The rappers, remember I always tell y'all, the rappers who I'm talking to, and they're like, yo, like, they're talking about reaction now to their music. They're saying, yo, Kendrick killed it. It's street rappers who's telling me this. It's not conscious. It's street rappers. They're like, yo, bro, they rap ignorance. And what happened in hip hop is that you had people now trying to hold braggadocious rap or street rap or, you might have a rapper say, I slap a blah, blah, blah. That's always been in hip hop. Like, this is not.
Again, everybody's going to move the goalposts for their favorite artist. You could talk about having 100 bodies. It doesn't matter. Or you can pick on Drake or you can pick on another artist, but that's just the day and age where we're at. We move the goalposts for the people that we like. We turn a blind eye to who we care about. But if we got smoke with somebody, we're going to magnify each and every word in their raps. That's what we're seeing with Drake right now. Everybody's trying to break down his raps, saying that he's sad, complaining about Kendrick, LeBron, and everything like that, just to use that comparison. But either way, if a lot of people rock with a certain artist, they're not going to care about what they say. As long as the song is good, the beat is cool, that's all they care about. But people still want to hate on Drake. But it ain't gonna work. Drake destroyed everybody. He destroyed all of his haters.
Apparently when the White House made a TikTok, which supposedly was last year, here's the interesting part. It's twofold. Kendrick Lamar's music has also gotten used by the White House. Apparently when the White House made a TikTok, which supposedly was last year, Kendrick's music was one of the first songs that got put up there. Nobody had a problem then. Nobody called for Kendrick to speak out, boycott, to denounce, to step away, to indict or indict verbally Trump for using it. Kendrick Lamar, White House music. Let's see. But now they're saying Drake needs to denounce this, right? They don't hold the standard for anybody else. And
yeah, they hating on Drake. So is Kendrick, Jay-Z? Are they going to talk about Trump using their music? Are they going to denounce it? Are they going to speak up? They didn't say anything. That was over a year ago. Haven't heard anything from Kendrick or Jay-Z. But with Drake, he has to denounce it. It's just a lot of haters hating on Drake, but it ain't going to work. Iceman, album of the year, album of the decade, and Drake is better than Michael Jackson.
That's why media sucks now. And that's why I responded to this idiot like that. I don't think Kendrick needs to denounce it. I don't think Ice Spice needs to denounce it. I don't think Jay-Z needs to denounce it. Unless we're finding out they're telling these political organizations to put that music up, which at that point you're like, oh, so you support whatever side it is. And it doesn't have to be Republican. It could be whatever side, which means you're making a political statement. However, if they just randomly pick your song, you're not making a political statement. Now, these are the same people who are mum, right? They're mum on... Remember Wasserman, Wasserman, which is an agency, the biggest booking agency, that essentially the founder, right, Casey Wasserman, he was actually flirting in the DMs with Ghislaine Maxwell in 2003. He was literally in the Epstein files. It said many artists have left, and this was a depiction. Subtronic says, I want to address it. I'm leaving. We had other people, hold on, Levity Music, and there's another one who's a bigger artist that left. Let me see. Orville Peck, Weighs Blood. There was someone else that was bigger. I'm sorry. Oh, Chappelle Rowan. They exited because they said they felt uncomfortable that their agency worked, that the agency that they're signed to was in cahoots with Epstein back in the day. You know who signed to Wasserman as a artist? Kendrick Lamar. He signed over there. He was quiet about his agent being involved with Epstein stuff. And I said he should have said something, but really, I don't really care if he did say something. I just want people to apply the same rules. By the rule that this idiot's going by, if Drake should speak out about the White House, which, by the way, is not Donald Trump's house, it's the official house of the President of the United States. If they use 2 songs of Drake and he needs to denounce it, speak out, how come Kendrick, who then gets signed to the agency in bed with Epstein, he doesn't have to say a word? But it's selective politicking, man. Like, they don't have the same standards for Jay-Z or for Kendrick as they would have for Drake. And I've said this repeatedly. So this guy, he comes out with this, but of course the internet, once I replied to this, I felt like his skin was on fire. Like, he was going through it. And he made a video. And I got to play you this video because it's going to get into my bigger story. This was actually really hilarious. Check this one out, chat.
DJ Akademiks took some time off from scarfing down Cheetos or gargling on his favorite rapper's meat to reply to my tweet that now has over 2 million views. I'm gonna get back to Ak in about 20 seconds, but let me back up first. When Drake's Iceman album dropped, the White House posted this. Then a couple days later, they posted this video calling Trump. the Iceman. So I tweeted this. White House has now made 2 promos using Drake's album, which he hasn't denounced yet, but they thought we were crazy for saying Iceman is a tone-deaf album title in this climate. Akademiks responded super rationally with this. Now, I wasn't shocked that Ak was triggered. He has been caping for his daddy for years. And not only that, but I did some digging. I have some sources too, Ak, and I know that you're getting paid by the head of Truth Social.
Jeremy, I got $100,000 for you if you provide that.
Yeah, seem like dude hating on Drake again. We already know how Akademiks is with Drake, but he throwing out some insults. You really taking this to a whole new level. So I expect Akademiks to crash out like he normally does, but this dude deserves it. Fall back. Does Jay-Z and Kendrick Lamar, do they need to denounce the White House playing their music? Drake shouldn't have to do it either. Stop hating on Drake. You're just mad that he's running the music industry again.
Head of Truth. Listen, you know what's so funny? Let me see. Who's this person? It's ran by who? Who's the head of Truth Socials? Devin Nunes? Shit, I wish I was. You know what's so funny? So this guy called himself trying to call me out. First of all, I'm the only person who will gladly tell you where my political affiliations lie at the moment. I supported and voted for Donald Trump last time. May not be turned out to be the best of choices these days. Next time, if there's a dope Democratic candidate, I'll go. I'll proudly say I vote for them too. I'm an American who feel like, even my audience probably don't like the fact that I'm that open with my political views. But listen, I'm not staunchly Democrat or Republican. I'm going to be honest about who I support. Now, let's just get to what's actually important. Have I ever gotten paid or getting funded? Because that's now the new thing. Like they act like I'm like this big entity. I guess I am, right? They're like, yo, Ak is getting funded by Truth Social. How? Like, how? By the way, I'm glad you brought this to light because everybody knows I'm one of the most transparent people in media. I've always said I pimp the record labels. Listen, I'm a media personality, but I also have a platform which we put up a lot of music. Yes, they got to pay their due to go get access to my page if they want to promote their song, their album, or their music video. It happens.
That's the music industry. He's running a music business right now. So people are trying to use that to conflate the topic like, okay, he's getting paid, he's getting bought, so his views aren't legit. Now, when it comes to Drake, maybe he's a little biased there, but just as far as the industry as a whole, you want to pay to get on X platforms, you got to cut that check. He's been open and honest about that probably for over a decade now. But it's obvious that he's in cahoots with the labels as far as payments and as far as running a business. But that doesn't mean that everything that he says, okay, can't be true because this label is paying for him. The same labels and artists that he's getting paid from, he's going to talk about them. If they have low album sales, he's going to put it out there. So no matter what, if he's getting paid by labels and artists, that shouldn't really matter. Everybody that's running a business, you got advertisers, they're going to cut that check, then they'll run that stuff on their platforms. Doesn't mean that it's anything negative. He's just running a successful music business.
All the time. I've told you guys this. That's no secret. Now, I'm not opposed to taking political money. I just ain't get it yet. I'm going to keep it a bean with you. Now, obviously, if I ever took money from politics, you'd be like, oh, I'll put up a post and it's like an ad. I don't give a I do ads. 100%. Like, this is where I'm breaking the mold for media people, because they usually do it under the table, and because some of them used to be on radio, if you do that, that's illegal. What I do is what every media company does. I definitely run ads. By the way, this guy was on a show with another bozo, DJ Ked and Elliot Wilson, and they don't realize that they were signed to, what's it called, Hip Hop DX or Uprocks, one of those companies. They both do what I do and that everybody else does as media companies. We run ads. So Hip Hop DX was running ads in the background of whatever the fuck y'all were doing. That's how it works. Now, this idea that you're getting paid and they control your voice, that's not true, right? That's not true. Well,
that's what I was saying earlier. Just because labels are paying them, artists are paying them, no matter. If you want to advertise on these individual platforms, not saying everybody, but just specifically Akademiks, you can tell that he gonna stand on business. Again, when it comes to Drake, he's gonna kind of, move the goalposts, and that's understandable. They're homies. If your homie is going through something, you're not gonna put everything out there. You're gonna have that conversation and then, put out those statements. But just overall, 99.999% of the time, Akademiks is standing on business. Just know if you're paying Akademiks as far as advertising, putting artists up, that doesn't mean that you're gonna silence his voice. He's gonna have his own thoughts and opinions. This guy is a hater. Stop hating on Akademiks and Drake.
Maybe it does work for certain people. I've never gotten paid politically at all. Actually, I want to get paid politically. Listen, if Trump sent me $10,000 and say, yo, could you post this on Instagram? And it's one of those videos where it's like, allow me to reintroduce myself, and him stepping out of the jet. Oh, it's up there. It's up there. If Biden's old senile sent me the same 10K, like, could you post this up on there? It's up there. I do media, brother, and maybe that doesn't understand. You don't understand that. What my opinions are and my voice is, right, is very different from my platform. My platform, I posted rappers I don't even like. It is what it is. You get what I'm saying? So again, a radio station only exists because it runs ads. I'm telling you that Akademiks, the brand, we do run ads. It's nothing I have to keep a secret.
And I think that's what that guy isn't understanding, or just because of his hatred toward Akademiks and Drake, he doesn't want to understand it. You worked with Hip Hop DX, you worked with all these entities. How do you think you were getting paid? It was through ad dollars. If you're doing an interview or if you're doing anything website-wise, you scroll down that website on the left and the right of the screen, you're going to see a bunch of ads there. That's how you're getting paid. Akademiks is running a music business, running an ad company, content creation. He's the hottest in the game over the last 10 plus years as far as media. Of course, he's going to get tens of thousands of dollars to post artists or just post things in general. So this guy's a hater. He doesn't want to understand it. He refuses to understand it. Step your money up and advertisers will pay you to post their products or artists on your page.
Say Cheese runs ads. No Jumper runs ads. If you think that is somehow unethical, eat, because you were definitely working for companies that do the same thing. But I want to continue to challenge you, since you said you're hearing stuff. Has politicians or the head of Truth Social confirmed that he's funding me or I've ever gotten paid from Truth Social? I would like for you to show that proof. That's a very heavy accusation, one which I'm telling you never happened. The only time I ever got offered political money, and I said this, everybody who watches me know this, I got offered like 50 grand. It wasn't this cycle. It was when Trump was running, but he lost. So when he lost to Joe Biden the first time, that's when I got offered money by the Democrats. But it wasn't clear how they were trying to offer this bag of money and what they needed me to do. It felt like it was, hey, this is just money for you to start aligning in your thought. And y'all know me. I'm always going to think what I think and say what I want to say. But if you want to buy some ads, you absolutely can. If Joe Biden send me $1 million and he wants his banner up there, you're going to see Joe Biden's banner up there until I get that $1 million worth of brand ad sale out of it. I do business. And I'm not here to be ashamed of saying it. I do business with every record label. I do business with usually hip or urban brands. I try not to like do other stuff. It just wouldn't make sense because I'm a hip hop guy. But if a politician comes, and maybe you'll help me here, because if a politician comes and says, I got 50,000 for you, put my banner, like, I don't know, let's say it says Republican 2028, put it up top. It's up top. Come to me that 100K. If the Democrats say, yo, Ack, we really need you, all we need is that banner up there that says Democrats for 2026. It's going to be up there. I'm going to tell you the truth because I do ads. But what you guys are saying is blatantly incorrect, that I am getting paid by them to have an opinion. And I would like to challenge you, Jeremy. And I'm going to get into this bigger discussion because apparently I was put on game that this was conversations happening around these water coolers or whatever. Let me let this guy finish.
Super rationally with this. Now, I wasn't shocked that Ack was triggered. He has.
And by the way, every time, you ever notice every time I put out a big number bet and I say, yo, take me up on it, just show the proof, right? Show the proof that I got paid to do something political from either side, and I've done it, and from either side of the aisle, show me I'm on air saying I have $100,000. I will be forced to, by my audience and by people just saying you're a by not, we could talk. But these guys, they're going to just switch the subject after this. Every time you
Yeah, they're haters. They don't got proof of what they're accusing you of. So, of course, they'll never take you up on that bet, especially this guy talking about you getting paid under the table by political people. Again, Akademiks said, Democrats, Republicans, whomever, you want that banner on the top of my videos? Go ahead, cut that check. 100,000, 50,000, whatever the case may be. So he's already putting it out there. He defeated your argument. He's letting it be known I haven't got paid from political parties, but if they do want to pay me, send that email, send that wire, and we can talk business.
hold them to a point, they switch the subject.
Has been caping for his daddy for years. And not only that, but I did some digging. I have some sources too, Ack, and I know that you're getting paid by the head of Truth Social. So I know what.
By the way, actually, I do want to even add to the Truth Social thing. I need to talk to somebody at Truth Social. 2 weeks ago, for no apparent reason, because I made a Truth Social account when Trump just announced it, and because I'm like, I got to reserve my name early on a new social media platform. I've never posted on there. 2 weeks ago, they banned me. I don't know why. Like, they just literally banned me. Like, I could actually show you the thing. It says, Akademiks, you have been banned from Truth Social. And I was like, I don't even post there. And I was like, I think they got to be cleaning up accounts because I've never posted on there. So I'm probably just wasting space. But, yeah, it's if I was getting paid by them, I would have loved this shit. So Truth Social, I want to let Truth Social know, and any Republican-leaning companies that spend money with creators, do not listen to this idiot or anybody else that might even be trying to shame me or whatever. I will tell y'all this. Big Ack is always open for business. I don't feel no type of way about y'all. Just come holler at me. We talk dollars and cents, and we'll make it make some sense, even if it ain't common.
Social. So I know why you jumped so quickly and aggressively on that tweet, and I know where your opinion's coming from. I also know that your opinion on music isn't from you either, because you're getting paid by every label.
Guys, go look back at my Instagram. I posted, Rich the Kid got some coming out. I ain't hear it. He's promoting an album. You see, these guys are just up and like broke. You know what I mean? So like,
Again, the guy is ignorant. He doesn't like you. He doesn't like Drake. He's trying to move the goalposts to make it seem like you're a certain way. You're bought and paid for the labels. Look at your Instagram page. Look at the hundreds of artists that you post. Again, Akademiks just said he posted Rich the Kid and didn't listen to it. Only thing that he wants to see is that money hit his bank account, and then we get your content on his page. That's it. But again, this guy's a hater. He refuses to understand what's going on. Even if he does understand it, he's a hater of Akademiks. So, of course, he's going to move the goalposts to make Akademiks seem a certain way. This guy needs to get his money up. You know what's going on with advertising. You know what's going on with content. You know that there's a partnership. Money's going to exchange hands, and products will be posted on pages. This guy seems like a broke hater.
They're in a weird position saying, how did Ack figure it out? When years ago we used to call him an idiot, but now he's like a genius, right? Now, I'll put that out. If you're a record label and you have artists, I would tell y'all should all reach out to me directly to have a relationship with me. Some of y'all end up paying for posts on my page coming through different agencies, and you're probably getting taxed twice as much. So if you're paying $5-6K for Akademiks posts, but you're going through this middle guy to this middle guy to this middle guy, just come holler at Big Ack himself. You know, I'll get my sales guy. He'll talk to you. We'll give you a deal. You get it for even cheaper. But these days, you know, I do business with music labels too. Like, what do you think? When I don't hit on stake, you think the Lambo don't get gassed up? You don't think the Maybach works? It got to work. So I do high level business, and I got a media company, and I am not ashamed to say that I do. You guys could use my platform at times for a billboard for your album. Now, here's the thing: what you can't do. Have y'all seen me go kick it with any of these rappers? That ain't my friends. Drake, my favorite. I'm with him. YB's my man's. I'm on tour with him. You don't see me in those where you're like, nah, this, I got this. No. So my opinion is always very clean and clear. But cool story, bro, if you're trying to, you know, get that one off.
DJ Akademiks, but I did some digging. I have some sources too, Ak, and I know that you're getting paid by the head of Truth Social. So I know why you jumped so quickly and aggressively on that tweet, and I know where your opinion's coming from.
Yo, newsflash. You see all you in hip-hop, you scared to lose your audience or whatever. I told niggas I fuck Trump. Me. My audience don't have to. I do. And I don't care if I'm black, whatever. I fucked with him when he got elected. I don't think he's doing the best job now. When people said, do you regret voting for him or supporting him? No. Because the other option I thought was worse. I don't care. Y'all can't try to like black me to death. And it's kind of interesting because this week I've been on like black people been loving me because I'm like, you know, I kind of handle the Sneako shit. I'm like getting this Chud The Builder in tow. But then people want to be like, no, this is a reason why I know I'm not being controlled. Because you don't think that they would want me not to support Trump? Brother, I'm not going to keep it a secret that I supported him. I'm going to just tell you what it is. There was two candidates last time. I thought Trump was going to be the better candidate. I wanted Trump to win. He won. He ain't doing the best job now. I could criticize him too. Man, I don't know what he got going on with Israel. He need to calm it down. He need to focus on what we got going on, or this not going to look good. But he's also in his last term. It's kind of looking like he don't give a I could be honest. Kind of looking like he don't, right? But these guys, they actually think the fact that they think I'm genuinely not someone who likes Trump. They think that I'm getting paid to like him, which I'm like, what's that paycheck looking like? Like, this guy think he's going to shame it. Yo, if they had told me, like, I ain't going to lie, all right, let's create a paycheck. Yo, maybe I would do some fraudulent. If Biden comes to me with like, or whoever is going to be a Democratic candidate and say, yo, we got 15 million for you to fake like somebody. I might be like, wait, that's against my morals, but did you say 1.5? Maybe that.
Yeah, you may have to look into cutting that check. Not saying I would do that, but if they gave Akademiks 15 million, all of a sudden he got a Joe Budden t-shirt on, he got whoever t-shirt on. Now you got to understand, okay, maybe he was bought and paid for, but for this amount of money, 10,000 here, 5,000 here, 50,000 here, that's not enough for Akademiks to totally align with somebody. All jokes aside, this dude, he's a hater. I get it, you don't like Akademiks, but at least understand where he's coming from. He's running a media company. He's getting ad dollars, and that's what we're seeing right now from Akademiks. And a lot of people on social media, they're getting paid to post content on their channels.
I saw this video. I'm like, you know, again, I know I speak in circles, but I was gonna come online and tell the truth like I always do. Every music label pays me. I've said that in a deposition. The second part is, no, I haven't done political ads. I want to. So, hey, if anybody got like the Democrat budget, send that over here to me. I got a lot of, bruv, like I got a lot of cars to service. I need some bread. If anybody got some political money, I start at 50,000 and up. You can run an ad. You can run it on my stream. It's facts. 50,000 and up. Straight up. So I don't know. These guys think like, oh, we're exposing you. No. Now that you think I'm doing it, first of all, I'm trying to get part of that because political money is way longer than rap money. And I could charge them like $6,000 or something like that for a post. Yo, I could charge 30 grand for some political shit.
Facts. That political money hit different. The music industry money is cool, but they try to nickel and dime you. I don't care if you've been in the game like 15 plus like Act. He been doing this since like 2011. Even they'll try to nickel and dime him. But those political parties, political figures, yeah, they're going to cut that check. They're going to run a bunch of campaigns. They're going to try to work with you. So that political money is definitely different than the hip hop and music money.
Anybody in politics, I don't care what side you fall on. Democrat, you could be libertarian, you could be independent, you could be Republican. If you got 25, 50 bands, you got 50 bands, and you trying to put something on the top of my screen, or you want to run your little 30-second ad dissing your op, brother, holla at me. Akademiksmusic@gmail.com. I'm going to get, you see, that's why I don't got to chase Netflix and them other thing. I get it out in the mud. Listen, I'm a real to the bone gristle. Like, I'm going to get to it. So what this boy is talking about, hey, to all the political people who might be looking at me, don't let this fool scare you off. I'm open for business, big business. Now, I will continually say, you tell me what opinion I've ever had that's manufactured because of money. None. So, you're just coming across stupid, but I get it. Like, the hate is lingering. So he mentioned something that was interesting, and this is where I got like a couple calls, shout out to people who try to quote unquote put me up on game. So I don't know if I remember, I told you like a while ago, I think possibly Rock Nation is behind this, but remember I told you that they were like sitting outside Grand Wizard's house, or the person they thought was Grand Wizard, because Grand Wizard is an AI. I don't know if you guys know. You got Grok, you got Claude, and my favorite AI is Grand Wizard chat. You know what I mean? Like, if I say to Grand, yo, Grand, I need X, Y, and Z, he's almost quicker than Grok. He hits me with it immediately. Like, so that's my guy. Anyway, apparently what's been going on is connected to that. Now, there's only two sources this could come from, because I can't see no one else paying to fund this. It's either a Rock Nation initiative, which I'm leaning towards, I'm like 84% on that, or 16% on Kendrick Lamar conspiracy. So I don't know if you guys have noticed, and I realized, have you seen these where it says Adin, Ross, Drake sued? There's about like 5 of them. They're actually accusing Drake, Adin, Ross, and now they're throwing me in the mix. They're saying we are in a racketeering thing. Now, I'm going to give you the short of it, but apparently the long months of research has culminated with them now sending the info around to some of these media personalities. That's why you get this guy jumping out. However, first of all, even when I talked I talked to someone who was kind of like saying the same things as him. They were like, yeah, they said that you supposedly received money from like political I'm like, show me that receipt. And then they confused me with Grand Wizard. Like, they didn't know who it really was. And I was like, all right, so what else are they saying? So I'm only saying this and bringing this to light because there's a theory, and supposedly none of this is criminal necessarily, but they think there's a big expose about to happen of me, Drake, and Adin Ross. Let me break this conspiracy down. I mentioned at the beginning of all this rant. They claim that Drake is paying to control the internet. No, I'm serious. So if you're a fan page right now and you've been posting some Iceman stuff, or you post with the other fan post, they think that somehow Drake, let me break down this conspiracy theory they have. They say Drake is at the top. He pays me. He pays Grand Wizard. He pays Adin, and he does it in a weird way underneath the banner of stake, which I'm like, I wish Drake would be sending me some bread. Like, this would be lit. Like, I'm in supporting. Yo, when the person's telling me this last time, I'm like, yo, I've had the same question. Y'all need to show me proof that Drake has ever paid for something, because I'm going to hit him directly and be like, yo, Drake, you dropping a bag on everybody but me?
Yeah, if anybody deserves a bag for Drake promo, it's Akademiks. Akademiks been rocking with Drake full throttle on everybody for a very long time now. You say something negative about Drake, Akademiks, he gonna rant about you for at least 3 or 4 hours on his platform. I rock with Drake too. If Drake is cutting checks, giving out chains, I need that OVO chain mailed to me ASAP.
I know I got a chain, but I'm like, yo, shit of love, brother love. Anyway, that's the conspiracy theory. They claim stake is part of the way that the money gets transferred so people can't figure it out. And basically, so those are the players in the conspiracy. By the way, this is everybody in media now. They're so irrelevant. They actually believe this, because the people who call me about this, they wouldn't call me if they didn't think that, oh, nah, they really thought they got something on y'all. So keep in mind, We had private investigators go overseas trying to find Grand, but he lives in the cloud. They try to find a bunch of other people, like just a lot of money spent. And the narrative they've came up with is that Drake is paying me, Adin, under stake to control the internet. Now, how's the internet controlled? And this is the thing you really got to hear. The people who I'm putting belt to ass with, that's why I'm number one on the media list, is trying to figure out how our audience is this big. They're trying to figure out, which I think with Drake, it should be self-explanatory. He's the biggest rapper. They think Drake's numbers is inflated. So I'll give you an example. They're like, well, when we watch people scroll, like if we scroll on Twitter these days, all we see is Drake, Akademiks, and damn like, you know, Drake, Akademiks, Adin Ross, or some that they talk about. And these people are upset. These people are like, yo, we used to control the conversations, but these days, these guys are dominating it. Now, I literally told this person, I'm like, oh, so that was your theory. And I'm like, okay, so that's the theory? They said, yes. There's been these private investigators. They put together so much info to figure out how Drake, Adin Ross, and Akademiks are controlled. Which, by the way, doesn't make sense now. When Ebro was going on his rant, he was like, yo, I notice anything that goes against Drake and Ak, yo, I get a bunch of bots getting at me. So I want to point out what they claim, you know, might be coming out in a big expose. They said me, Drake, Adin Ross, and Grant is in it somewhere, have figured out a way to control the entire internet narrative. And when we talk, as opposed to them talking, the algorithm is so flooded, it's just so overpowered that they know these are paid things by supposed Drake. And one of the only reasons I even kind of like track back some of these, like, you know, like, because I'm laughing at it. I'm like, yo, bro, has these, yo, chat, you know what they're describing, by the way? They're describing clipping. That's what they're describing. Yo, these guys are so much old heads. They're describing clipping. Yo, y'all went to go stalk. Now it makes sense. The dudes they stalked that I knew, even Grand, they were clipping. These dudes are such old heads, they don't realize that clipping is the new way. So they're like, nah, something must be good. How does Drake? They just found out about clipping and they spent hundreds of thousands for goddamn because I remember, like, and by the way, this is why 15% I think it might be Kendrick's people, because
Yeah, the old heads, they don't know. I'm getting older too. I'm just finding out about clipping, but clipping's been going on for a while now, but it's really being pushed to the forefront. If you see something online that you like, you're going to clip it, you're going to repost it on your social media channels. If it doesn't go viral for that individual, it's going to go viral for the clippers. So now there's a business strategy around it. Same what Neon was talking about. I'm going to hire a bunch of clippers, pay them X amount, and then once you start making money off it, it'll pay for itself. This is a good strategy in content. And what Drake is doing, like, you know what? I'm going to align with all the streamers. They're going to stream my content. They're going to clip it up, and it's going to work in his favor. This is new age media content.
when I talked to Anthony Salah, you know what he said to me? He said, yo, we got private investigators like on Grand right now. And I'm like, huh? But so that happened then. Months later, more private investigators went to go try to, whatever with Grand. And then they went to, I won't call this person's name out, but they went to his house too. And I was like, why are they going to people who have worked for me? You know who the people who have worked for me? I don't know if y'all know who Grand really is. Obviously, he's an AI. But Grand is a chat. Grand used to just be in our call, being here watching, and he started making memes of me. Grand is Fearbuck. Grand is Scuba Rhyme. So the point I'm trying to tell y'all, chat, there's somebody, I don't know exactly who, I think it's either Rock Nation or the Kendrick people, they've spent hundreds of thousands of dollars not even stalking me, it's stalking the kids and the unknown people that they claim is running the internet, not realizing, dummy, it's called clipping. And here's the thing, I've always been a guy who, I built my career online. Gladfully, all my guys who, I've kind of, I've helped Grand's helped me. I've helped all my chat pages. They're now turning, they're making a pretty penny, but they're doing it from clipping. These guys thought it was Drake buying social media. And I gotta explain to them, I gotta show you, like, there's one of them joints. I'm gonna try to get my hand on a document. Bro.
Nah, the industry can't be that stupid. The old dinosaur industry that think that Drake is taking over, that Drake is running the game like that. With his popularity, with people rocking with him, with things that he says, he's polarizing. If he says something, it's gonna go viral. It's gonna be clipped up. Same with the Akademiks. Same with all the streamers out there. If you're popular and you got a bunch of people that just want to help you out, that just want to clip your product up and put it on their social media, that's what you got in this day and age in social media. So it's insane that they're investigating people, spending a bunch of money for stuff that's been going on for a very long time now. But now it's starting to be put up on the forefront. Listen to these streamers. They talk about clipping all the time. I thought they would know better, and obviously they don't. Drake is running the industry right now, and they don't like it. They're haters.
Old heads just found out about clipping. They just found out about clipping. Their biggest gripe was, how come when Akademiks says something, everybody and their mama posts it? When I say something, 2-page posts it. Well, I'm better than you anyway. But the real reason is that, did you not know what clipping is? So, I know this has been going on. In terms of, like, but it's really manifested in these media people or even rappers, like, they kind of look at it like me, Drake. And by the way, here's the thing too. Most clipping pages, because Drake has always been so forward in terms of, for everything that Joe and all these older dudes complain about Drake, is exactly why he's winning. Drake never rejected the new. They try to make Drake sound weird when they say, oh, he's talking about a streamer. Clipping came from streams. Clipping came from the Adin Rosses of this world who realized that he could get more in the conversation of that. So that's where clipping started. Then clipping moved to music. Then clipping is pretty much now ubiquitous with the newest way of how to promote anything. And all of these guys, they're saying Drake, Adin, and me run the internet because they didn't understand what clipping was. And all they need to realize, you got left in the dust because you're a dinosaur. I've been online for as long as I could tell. I got to adjust. Drake, who y'all claim should act his age and go to retirement home, he peeped how these streamers were getting popular and just keeping their names in the headlines. Yes, he's learned a thing or two, even though I still don't believe. I don't think Drake pays no one. I think Drake will curry favor with you, most likely, in my opinion, by being cool with you. Yo, he's going to shout you out. Yo, Train, what up, dog? XQC, what up? You know what the rap community says? Yo, you're weird. Why you, you're so corny. That's why you're shouting out, streamers. No, he knows something that you don't. The reason why y'all think me, Drake, and Adin bought the internet is because you guys are so far behind the 8 ball in terms of realizing how conversation works. It's the reason why I should be number 1 on this media list for the next 5 years. Y'all think that we're running a racketeering scam. Dog, they think me, Drake, and Adin are running a racketeering scam because anytime Drake says something, everywhere. I say something, everywhere. No, you guys need to catch up. You're old.
And that's all it is. They're way behind with advertising, promotion. They don't understand the game of clipping, and they're getting lapped around. So when they talk about Drake, why is he linking up with these young streamers? He understands the game to a high level. So the Joe Buddens out there hating on Drake, this dude hating on Akademiks and Drake, they don't understand the game, or they don't want to understand the game because they're haters. Drake is running the music industry. He figured it out.